busted, it's busted. And that's not happening. Almost no cases, vanishingly few cases of voter fraud, except committed by Republicans.
Oh, no.
And so I think
Republicans are the ones who commit the voter fraud, not the Democrats. Always the Republicans, never the Democrats.
Voter fraud could work is if someone showed up in your place knowing that you were just not going to vote. Like you had a coworker and you're always talking about, I never fucking vote. They take note of that and like, I'm going to try this. I'm going to go to his voting place and try and cast a vote in his place. That's really the only practical way, unless someone can articulate.
This is John Kitover News, part of Chicago News Incorporated. We're listening to a group of elite intellectual Democrats discuss how voter fraud never happens in the Democrat Party, just the Republican Party.
To get an ID to omit them from voting. And also, if you're out there and you're looking to adopt a dog or a cat, adopt a senior one.
I think one of the problems is.
Oh, Marshall, can I just offer some empirical data real
quick?
Why don't we go Reverend Scott and then Marshall?
Let me just say, Chicago News Incorporated, elite intellectual Democrats.
I did an exhaustive analysis of voter
only Republicans commit election fraud. Democrats never commit election fraud. It's okay if 20 people are registered.
In my own state of Pennsylvania, they looked at 30 years of elections. 30, that's 3-0. They looked at 32 elections held over those 30 years. The total number of ballots they looked at was 100,526,098.
Chicago News Incorporated.
26,098 ballots cast.
This is Democrat election fraud 101.
Reports of fraud. 39 out of 100,526,098. That is 0.0000388%. In comparable states like here in Arizona, they looked at 42 million some ballots, and they found almost 43 million, 36 cases. That wound
this
up
is
being
Chicago News Incorporated. We're with a group of elite intellectual Democrats claiming that Republicans are the only party that commits election fraud, not Democrats.
0.0000355.
May I add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
My favorite was the Maricopa County election recount. One of my best friends, who's a Trump supporter that I wrestle with, internally was fully convinced that they were going to find massive voter fraud in Maricopa County. And even before they counted, I said, not a chance. And the reason I said that was, you've got all these guys in there, like Republicans, old school veterans, and this, that, and the other. And I'm all, there's no way you're going to be able to talk these guys into committing fraud. They're just there to count. And I said, if anything, I bet they find more votes for Biden. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Yeah, I was right. And he didn't really know what to say to that. He was expecting to find flakes in the paper. He had a list of things that they were going to uncover. And none of it was uncovered. And this was a recount done. The media wasn't allowed inside. It was all Republicans, all Trump supporters in a building recounting in private. And a lot of my, left-wing friends are like, oh, this is bullshit that no one's allowed to even see it. I'm like, don't worry about it. There's no way you're going to get all these people to agree to cheat for Trump. Because even if one person, says no, they're going to come out and be like, the whole thing's bullshit. And I was right. And I just thought that was important.
Yeah, and this is, you have a greater chance of being struck by lightning. Someone has a better chance of being struck by lightning than committing voter fraud. It just does not happen statistically. I mean, it's so infinitesimal. And the very few times it does happen, the 0.00003 or 2, it doesn't affect elections. There's not one instance where we can see that it's affected an election.
And it's usually Republicans do it.
It's a solution in search of a problem.
Marshall is up next, and then Denise. Marshall.
Yeah, all I wanted to say was one of the ways that things can get mixed up in elections is if states don't purge their voter rolls, or if, when people move, they don't change address. So, Kevin, I've been doing campaign politics in South Texas for about a decade, and I knock on doors a lot the things you'll find, and this is Texas, this is not every other state in the country. Other states have similar issues, but Texas is Texas. What you'll find is occasionally people won't fill out change of address forms. So I'll go to the door and I'm supposed to talk to Mr. Garza, but I'm getting Mr. Trevino. Even though Mr. Trevino is the person who lives there and Mr. Garza no longer lives there. So you can get kind of mixed up in like where people register that way. And depending upon your state, you may not actually have to show ID to register. It just, each state's allowed their own processes. I actually like the fact that Texas has ID. It doesn't seem like it's an inconvenience to people because they have to have ID no matter what. They have to have ID for just about everything. But I'm a big proponent of states being able to pick their rules, right? Unless the federal Congress comes up with something different. So I just wanted to add that. Thank you for your participation. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I show in the queue Denise and then Emma. Denise, good morning. 2 weeks in a row. I am, my heart is fluttering, dear. Thank you. Please, Denise, welcome. You take as much time as you want up to the top of the hour.
Good morning. I've been listening and something just
Now it's my
just
turn
just occurred to me,
to
like
talk
how I feel
and tell you the
right
truth.
now. And I just wanted to talk about this idea that energy is finite, right? We only have so much. We only have so much legislative time. We only have so much, just literally energy in our systems to create and affect really any kind of change at all. And I'm just struck by how we choose to spend our legislative time, right?
How do we spend our time legislatively?
I don't think the problem in the United States of America is we have too many people voting. I think the problem is the opposite. We need more people to vote and more people to be engaged in our democracy in a substantive way. And you have to look at whether you are a proponent of the SAVE Act or any of the things that they present, whatever. Why? Our kids can't read. We have one of the highest.
You mean to tell me there's this thing called priorities?
All of these problems.
Priorities.
I'm really struck by the choice to focus on things that are not real problems. And when
doctor, tell us what the real problem is.
And you have to reflect on what they're actually trying to accomplish. Like Clubhouse, life is reputational, and the Bible says you'll know somebody by their fruits. And when people choose to spend their energy,
when people choose to waste all their fucking time, wasting their time,
choose to focus on things that are really
like this. This is really important and substantially substantive.
I think that should mean something.
That's right.
And that should be something that we evaluate as we evaluate this administration. I didn't need it to be the Gulf of America. I didn't need it to be changed to the Department of War. Like, why are we doing things that are just complete waste of time?
I didn't need the Kennedy Center changed to the Trump Center.
I didn't need any of these things. And it's just like, it's not as simple as, well, these are the things that different people have different goals. This was literally no one's goal. Like, no one cared about these things. So when you evaluate an administration, to me, I think you have to ask yourself, do they actually care about the American people and what's happening with American people? Or are they just trying to compound power? And I think the answer feels kind of obvious.
Before we go to Emma, I want a very brief comment. I constantly have discussions like, how important is Donald Trump or the opposing party in the White House? And I say, well, I'm more concerned about who the mayor of Los Angeles is. I'm more concerned with who my city councilman is. I'm more concerned about my school district. Now, it is true that we are now arguably in a war. We're no better off than we were 2 months ago before we got in, except my gas prices are 33 to 50% higher. My food prices are 33 to 50% higher. So if anything that Trump has affected me, it's made my cost of living go up 25 to 50%. And but all the other stuff about naming the Kennedy Center and renaming things, and like you said, Denise, who cares? Nobody cared until it became an issue. We'll have one more speaker and then go to the break. Emma, hi, good morning. Welcome to the show. What would you like to talk about?
Good morning.
Hi.
I would like to talk a little bit about the housing bill that they brought up earlier.
Please do.
I feel like that we need more intervention for the really lowest level of renters that we have out there, because that's the highest this ratio that we have a discrepancy between the availability and the affordability for the populace looking for that. I don't feel like there's enough intervention for that group in this bill. I feel like also there's a lot of allocations for federal funds to go into like repairs and things like that, and I see that benefiting the owners of properties in a way that will allow people to keep older properties that maybe should be taken down.
Now, are you specifically talking about apartment buildings or something else?
I was thinking about multi-family housing and stuff like that for residential housing.
Okay, so you're talking about like a single family home, a duplex, a triplex, something like that. Okay, go ahead.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Yeah, because that's what would be most applicable with the bill. I feel like that's going to cause some issues that we could address in other ways by allowing tax incentives for people that own these properties to create a more streamlined process for rent-to-own issues, and bring some of those people who are in that level up out of that group. You know, that's like, because you have within the lowest income of people who are renters out there who are searching for affordable housing, you have like there's a spectrum in that group of availability, and what you would really ideally want to do is move people up, bump people up a significant group number of people up into the next group. But what I see this bill doing is actually like maintaining those numbers of people that are on the lowest level, and actually bringing people who are in the group above that down into that level, not elevating people out of it, not raising it up, and not making enough options for like tiny home housing, which is another option that I feel is like very important, but that is not being not in any way really being explored or supported by government. So these are things that I'd bring up.
I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And with that, we are at the top of our 2 hours in the tank. 1 hour left. If audience and you haven't come up yet, we encourage you to do so. We're going to take a mandatory break. I'm going to step out of the captain's chair. Reverend Scott, the XO, will step into the captain's chair. And with the help of Violet and all of the mod squad, they will give me a break for the first half of hour number 3. So don't go away, and we'll be right back with Reverend Scott, Violet, and the mod squad after the break.
And my dad goes, "Notice how that's not cured yet." And she's like, "Wow, honey, well, I hope we never get Alzheimer's." He's like, "I hope we do, so we can all forget about this guy." I used to be way too loose with who I asked relationship advice from. I used to ask people in the audience, total strangers. I asked a couple in the front row of a show once, 2 couples therapists who had married each other, which I know, you ever see like quadruple stuffed Oreos and you're like, enough, right? That is a hat on a hat. It's expensive. But I was like, wow, too often these couples therapists, you gotta ask them, right? I said, do you guys have any advice for people in relationships, maybe people who are fighting a lot? They said, we do. You know how a lot of people have a safe word? doing sex, everyone needs to have a safe word during fights. A married friend of mine, I said, do you guys have a safe word for fights? And he was like, what? I'm like, it's a word that when you say it during the fight, it stops the fight. And he goes, oh yeah, we have one of those. I said, really? What is it? He goes, cunt. But I have to say, it doesn't really work if she said that. I was like, Jesus, I was looking for like pineapple, dude, but I used to ask people for relationship advice after breakups because I thought that was me working on myself, but it really wasn't. It was just me trying to figure out how to get into another relationship as quickly as possible so I wouldn't have to work on myself. The reason people don't want to be single for long periods of time is that once you're single for a little bit, you start to notice, ooh, some of the issues in my relationships are still here. And it's just me now. There's only one set of footprints in the sand. And no one's carrying my ass, right? Like, I realized in the last year I still
Oh my God, Paula, you got to
in relationships. I realized that because I wore perfume when I was
Paula.
I don't even think about it. I wear perfume when I'm in a relationship, though, because I know that if we break up and you smell that smell later, you'll get sad. And that makes me happy. I don't wear perfume to smell good. I wear it to haunt you later. I was on a first date with a guy. I realized we both had 3 younger siblings. I said, oh my God, let's text our sibling group chats right now. Ask them what our biggest flaw is. I'm so fun on a first date. I can't believe it. He texts his brothers, hey guys, what's the flaw? And they write back, works too hard, care much. One of them wrote back dyslexic, which I thought was pretty funny. Couldn't read it, but I could.
Wanna share your point of view, vent a little about what's bothering you. Got a question that's on your mind, be bold, brave, courageous. Come on up and get you fresh fire. What does that mean? Well, listen up, have a take and just don't suck. Be respectful, make your point in a reasonable way. Come on up. That's Uncle Steve today.
Reverend Scott.
Uncle
Hello,
Steve.
Reverend Scott. Wow, what a 2 hours it's been.
Oh, always. We're always onward and
Amazing.
upward with this show. Always upward.
Well, I am going to go have a mimosa. You step into the captain's chair and run it straight and true.
Thank you, sir. I'll see you in a half hour.
I'm too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love. Love's going to leave.
That's right, everybody. Reverend Scott, back in the chair. Violet, how are you? You ready?
I'm ready.
Violet, let me tell you something. I'm too sexy for my shirt. So sexy.
You said that right,
my
Fred.
shirt. But I'm not too sexy for this show.
Scott is definitely not too sexy for this show.
But fundamentally, if the wage growth is right, you have shocks that exist in the economy. If the wage growth is eventually that will produce better outcomes for people.
It also seems to me, let's be honest, the tone of the administration is not consistently a Christian tone. There is a tone of aggressive uncharity to people who aren't on board with the administration's policies.
So on the tone thing, it's very hard to rebut this because it's like fundamentally unfalsifiable. Because for every clip that you could show me of me or the president or some cabinet secretary saying something that in your view is unchristian, I could show you another few clips of us doing something or saying something that is like very Christian. The nature of political communication in the era of mass media is that sometimes people are going to say jokes that are taken out of context. Sometimes people are going to make mistakes. I'm not saying I make mistakes. I talk about this in the book a little. In my book, Communion, available where books are sold, I talk about the own mistakes that I've made as a Christian.
Yes, there is an apology. There is an apology to childless cat ladies, and we don't need to get sidetracked by that. Go on.
But my point is, like, I'm not saying we're perfect because we're not. My point is that the tone argument is in some ways, I think, people see what they want to see. And I also think that tonal arguments are ways of frankly policing working class ways of communication and covering them in elite preferences.
There we have it, Violet. What do you think? Did he defend the Christian nature or Christianness of the Trump administration to your satisfaction?
Not really of the administration. I mean, some of what he was saying made sense. The people are fallible, but he acknowledged mistakes are made. As a justification for all the things, not justification, but as a support for that morality in this administration, I personally don't think he made a strong enough case. It's just more, it seems more of a personal level. Well, yeah, people are fallible, and so is the administration, but, they're ignoring their wrongs and trying to justify them, not, making themselves accountable for them and trying to change what's bad. So that's kind of where I stand on it.
Does not pass the smell test according to Violet, and I will just make it be known for fairness here that when he said the economic stuff benefits the working class, nobody, virtually no nonpartisan economic analysis suggests that, right? The big beautiful bill, the tax policy, things like this.
Right.
Virtually every nonpartisan economic analysis that I've seen, and Google it for yourself, it shows that the largest share of benefits, tax cuts, things like this flow to the top 1% of earners. It is not exceptionally favorable to the working class or poor people or anything like that. So there you go.
Right. And I mean, that to me doesn't, stick with helping out the poor and, offering your generosity to people who actually need it, and that doesn't jive with what the guy was trying to say.
Thank you, Violet. Great insights, and thank you for helping me take over the keys to the jalopy here and drive the ship straight and true. Let's go over to Andrew Tuddy, our friend from the beautiful northern region of Canada. Andrew, would you like a fresh five to tell us what's on your mind?
Good afternoon. Yeah, the big beautiful bill. Well, I just read something this morning. I think 4 million Americans no longer can take advantage of the ACA, the Obama
Affordable Care Act.
because it's gone up so much. So that's done nothing to assist people that are cash strapped and economically having problems. Again, that's the truth flies in the face of the rhetoric. But I think I would like to congratulate the United States because according to the Supreme Court in a recent decision in regards to presidential powers and immigration, that racism no longer exists in the United States, according to the Supreme Court anyway. Judge Alito, I believe, wrote the decision.
We've eliminated it so strongly. We're like the least racist, and we're very non-racist. I mean, people tell me all the time, you're like the least racist.
Yeah, and the whole administration is the least racist, apparently, as well. Because, you know, when you talk about shithole countries and that people that come from shithole countries, quote unquote, I'm quoting somebody, that's not my description of these places, that it's their fault. That if you come from Haiti, which has descended into strife and chaos after the recent, well, not so recent really, after their earthquake, it really hasn't improved any. So that's your fault as an individual. And if you come from a third world country, you're predisposed genetically to commit crimes. That's not a racist thing to say. That if you come from South Africa and you want to immigrate to the United States, then if you're white, it's okay. But, you know, if you come from Norway, because that's where the good immigrants come from, that's not a racist thing to say. In no way is that sort of talk racist. And really what is happening in the United States now is that you can say pretty well any racist thing you want. And if you can find any other legitimate reason to invoke a policy that may impact people of a particular race disproportionately, but if you can find a legitimate reason, then that's the reason, not the racism. So, yeah, congratulations to the Supreme Court. It's really, really quite amazing in 2026 that the Supreme Court has reverted to 19th century opinions. So, interesting. Now, my country's got a lot of problems too, there's no doubt about it. But we did have our second Indigenous person drafted #1 in the NHL, a gentleman out of Whitehorse in the Yukon. He was drafted by the Toronto Maple Leafs, first pick overall. So, you know, maybe there's hope. There's hope. But it's a long way to go. Every time somebody dismisses so pure that you cannot look at yourself reflectively, point out all the great things that you've done. Things that you're doing. That's how they treat you in a certain sense. And that's true. But I think it's just making trouble. There's a thing sticking out.
Who hails originally from a state that many consider a shithole state, New Jersey, I have done my best to overcome my genetic Jersey propensity to be dumb and rude. And
I will not abide for calling New Jersey a shithole country.
I love it. I love New Jersey.
This is your Shabbos Goy,
I could give you
Yiddishkeit, Shabbos breaker detection system. Caleb is in process of breaking Shabbos. Shabbos breaker alert. Shabbos breaker alert.
Where he says, Andrew Shepard says, the only thing that other guy's interested in is who to make you afraid of and who to blame for it. I know I screwed that up. That's how you win elections.
Bob Runts is only concerned with two things. if he can't make you afraid of it, or he can't sell it. Yeah, that was great.
Right. And who to blame for it. And that is what this poisoning the well of questioning the integrity of our elections is about. Making you afraid of something and tell you who's to blame for it. And none of it's real. It's so incredulous.
Immigration,
some of the safest elections in the universe.
illegal
Like,
aliens
so I just wanted to
from
misquote that.
all around the world.
I love that movie. I love the part of the movie where it's
Somalian land in Minneapolis. Minneapolis is now Somaliland. The Muslims are in every land. The Muslims are everywhere. They got the burgers covering all that hair.
Josh Brolin made it to the series later. He was in the movie too, I believe.
And was in A Few Good Men. A lot of those people were in A Few Good Men as well.
He was in a few, there's a whole circuit of players.
Thank you so much.
Sports night, all of that.
I appreciate your contributions as always, and thank you for contributing this week. I've been opening some rooms spontaneously during the week, and I've enjoyed your contributions and the others. Thank you for that, my friend. Always insightful. By the way, Caleb, I'm interviewing a top Hegelian on the podcast tomorrow from that book I was sending you quotes from, so I'm pretty excited.
What's your thesis of the interview?
Well, actually his thesis is that the thesis antithesis synthesis is the complete misread of Hegel. And Hegel's all about preserving contradiction, not synthesis. So it's a fantastic book, and I'll send you some more quotes from there.
I was speaking with someone yesterday about tolerance for paradoxes.
Absolutely, no. That's his whole thing. He thinks Hegel's philosophy is all about just moving, not resolving contradictions, but moving to more and more interesting ones, which is just amazing. Thank you, Caleb. Let's go to my friend Denise. Denise, how are you, my friend? How is Texas? Would you like a fresh five to illumine us a little?
Oh my gosh, a fresh five. It's a lot of pressure. Sure. I guess what's on my mind today, what I woke up this morning thinking about, is happiness and how none of this feels like it's making us happy. Even quote unquote people who you think of as the winners, who theoretically are getting the policies and things that they want, even they're unhappy. So I've just been, reflecting on how much of a waste all of this is. I think that we have been damaged, I don't think irreparably, but I think for at least decades to come. I don't think, my belief is it's a long arc. It's a long arc, and you can work towards recovery, but I don't know. I just feel like no one is happy with where we are and how we are. I think it's really weird how much we talk about this affecting people, but it's also so emblematic of just inept leadership, right? Just failure for failure's sake. It's really interesting, as somebody who has been socialized my entire life to pursue excellence and to be as smart as you can, as prepared as you can, as equipped as you can. It's been a really weird shift to kind of see just a lauding of poor performance and mediocrity. And
called DEI,
I just
CRT, BLM, LGBTQ. Who are these DEI, CRT, BLM, LGBTQ?
I was the thing that you shared about J.D. Vance when they asked the question of is this a Christian? How has this administration been Christian? Which is a weird question, right? Why does it have to be Christian? But why do you have to?
true.
caring for children. We don't feed our children in this country, and we don't protect people.
That's not
Stop
true.
people from getting health care.
That's
Like,
your
there's nothing
opinion,
Christian
girl.
about this administration.
Life is
In my
opinion,
so
girl.
where I'm sitting,
Not your
so the
fate,
irony
made
of
of
continually
facts.
bringing that up, cosplaying it. I think it's bizarre. It's just,
I am cosplaying a virtuous Christian Democrat.
It's not true, and we can all see that it's not true.
It's not true, cause my opinion says it's not true.
You know, I have friends of all stripes, and I have friends that
I got friends of every kind that makes me corporate.
Acquiesce. They're embarrassed.
Acquiesce to me and my lies.
That's the only
My opinions are facts. My
opinions.
opinions are the facts.
I don't know. I just think it's a really interesting time to be alive, and like our loss of desire.
It's such an interesting time to be alive. If I could choose which time to be alive, I'd say that this could be the most interesting time ever. I wouldn't want to be alive in the year 1444. They didn't even have radiant heating in their floors.
Understand how shameful you are.
You are so shameful.
Are people who,
it's my opinion that you're shameful.
Are perceived as criminals, liars, cheaters, thieves. Andrew Jackson? I mean, what are we doing? It's just a strange time to be alive. And again, I said it once, I'll say it again. Hats off to parents of young children that have to like instill values and morals at a time when we are so bereft of them.
Thank you so much, Denise. That's incredibly thoughtful, articulate.
You've got no children,
very interesting.
so here you are, telling us all about your opinions. They're not your facts. This is supposed to be painful. Somebody said I was in love with you yesterday, B-Man. I was like, oh, man. In love with the voice, not the body.
Would you like a fresh five to tell us what's on your mind this morning?
I'm on that.
I had one earlier.
I'm on this amount of gluten peptides. I'm losing all the weight.
No, not really.
You can't say nothing about my weight. Because that is hateful, abusive, harassment, and stalking.
Thank you so much. Yeah, take that to
People, so YouTube is now accusing me of stalking people, which is ridiculous.
What you're thinking about today.
I should love you. Like your boyfriend? What boyfriend? Some fucking guy that drives a truck around and you like him because his melatonin is dance? Motherfucker, he is dance. The brain is fucking dance. There's nothing in it. He got the thick melatonin density in the epidural. But in the pink part, where it matters?
Very timely. Relevant to our discussion. Here we go. I know Uncle Steve loves this film as this kid. Many of us would agree.
I love this clip.
Circa 1995.
The last couple of months under Rumson has suggested being president of this country was to a certain extent about character. Although I'm not willing to engage in his attacks on me, I've been here 3 years and 3 days. And I can tell you without hesitation, being president of this country is entirely about character. I am a carrying member of the ACLU, but the more important question is, why aren't you, Bob? Now, this is an organization
The world famous Chicago Bucket Boys.
was wrong. Bob's problem isn't that he doesn't get it. Bob's problem is that he can't sell it. We have serious problems to solve, and we need serious people to solve them. And whatever your particular problem is, I promise you, Bob Rumson is not the least bit interested. He is interested in two things, and two things only.
It's called the Chinese flute. It's a communist musical instrument. It's socialist. It's a progressive, pluralist, liberal, elite, intellectual, LGBTQ flute.
This is from Boston Legal, the other side of the... Denise, do you really want to let a jury have a go at this? Oppression is a dirty word. Remember, we're the country that likes to root it out. This isn't the time to be anti-American. Do I really need to say that?
This is called the
The American
bagpipes.
government tells us to be quite open with our religion, especially the Christian church. Jimmy Carter was a born-again Christian. Ronald Reagan said his favorite book was the Bible. May I? May I?
We are guided by a power larger than ourselves. Jesus Christ, the Son of God. We worship an awesome God. I'm just one new God real. We are on God's side. When you turn your heart and your life, let's say a prayer before I did. Over to Christ. God knows the truth. We accept Christ as the Savior. The man's heart will change your heart. What does the Lord require of thee? My friends, together we can do this. And to walk, do it we must. Humbly, so help me God. With thy God, not hell, sexual.
How is this relevant? It's relevant because the open, notorious celebration of Christianity has never been more popular. We have an evangelical president, John Ashcroft, preacher Condoleezza Rice was once five.
Never had one less.
Air Force Academy basically established evangelical Christianity as its official religion. The football coach did. Put up a banner that says Team Jesus Christ. Have you checked the pulse of this country lately?
How is this relevant?
I just told you. It's evolution out, creationism in. We are a Christian nation. He's making me repeat myself. And with the eroding values in our country,
He's making me repeat myself.
with our star athletes doped up on steroids, committing sexual assaults, with the Enrons and WorldComs stealing from their investors. What is wrong with today's business leaders trying to introduce a little spirituality into the workplace?
One nation under God. One nation under God. One standard under God. One people under God. For the children of
When
God.
you eat too much and you drink too much, your rheumatoid arthritis, aka your arthritis. This is called Look at My Foot Show as I massage my knee. My political campaign strategist for the Chicago mayoral candidacy told me that the more foot videos I create, the greater the chances of me becoming the next mayor of Chicago increase.
Scott Violet, the rest of the mod squad for holding it down. And we've got 30 minutes left till the top of the hour for this 3-hour tour. If you're in the audience, we encourage you to come on up and get your fresh five.
Oh!
Let's go to the mod squad. Mod squad, if you would like a fresh five, please just unmute and start.
I don't need a this whole concept
fine. Thank God.
Christianity, secularity.
Live access removed. They took my live access down.
It might be built on the concept
Body
of
exposure.
power, since some of the founding fathers were deists, right? But that's as far as I'll admit. But the whole concept of God is that exactly, a mental concept construct. It's not true in reality. So thank you.
Yes, and I believe we are the only country out of 209 on the planet that have the First Amendment. Free speech, free worship of any religion or no religion at all. I think we're the only country that has that.
We're the only one that has it. We're the only one that has it written down.
Yes.
The UK has a version of it, but their constitution.
This is John Kitover, Chicago mayoral candidate for the February 23rd, 2027 mayoral election here in Chicago. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the video. Together we will defeat the liberal, communist, progressive, pluralist, elite, LGBTQ, intellectual Democrats, stealing billions from the pensions, putting the police, stealing from the police pensions, not letting the police do their job of law enforcement, no cash bail, ankle monitors for recidivist murderers, going back out and lighting little girls on fire on the train, slicing their throats, mass murders on the trains, mass murders at teen gatherings. Like, share, and subscribe to this video. If you want change now, if you want to save the future now.
People are too lazy to do the research, but like when it comes to candidates, it's their actions, both in politics and otherwise, that demonstrate the kind of person or kind of leader they're going to be, not whatever ideology they say they're attached to. I mean, they can say that they believe in whatever they want, but if their legislative actions and bills and stuff like that don't back it up, it's, just hot air. And so it seems to me that it doesn't matter to me what ideology the politician, well, I mean, it does, but his actions as a legislator and what issues he's trying to promote or go against is more what I'm interested in than what he says in his political commercials about where his morality comes from.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up Canada, because in 1982 they revised their Charter of Rights, and in 82 they revised it to say the supremacy of God is enshrined, at the very beginning of the Constitution, explicitly stating that individual rights are grounded in a higher moral order. I'm not reading it properly. Let me see here. The supremacy of God appears in the preamble to the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. It reads, whereas Canada is founded upon principles that recognize the supremacy of God and the rule of law. That was redone about 45 years ago. So, interesting. Thank you for bringing that up. Would anybody else like to contribute at this time?
Yeah, I would. I also think it's kind of weird to have a compulsive nature to your Christianity. I think fundamentally that is that's anti-Christian. The whole idea is that you present and live a life that makes people want to live like you. The idea is not that you structure governmental rules and laws that compel people to operate under your value system. So the whole concept is kind of strange to me. The way that people want, and in a lot of ways, I have to say, like, nobody really thinks Trump is a Christian, which kind of goes to the point that Violet was making. Like, they don't really think of him as a Christian, but they think of him as a tool of Christians, of much in the same way, like, Pilate was, right? Or whatever. Like, I think that they think of him as a tool. So it's really interesting. Like, do you want a Christian government? I don't know that you actually do. What you want is someone that will do the things and compel others to do what you want them to do. And I just feel like that is just strange and really antithetical to everything that I read in the Bible. You're not supposed to make people do what you want. You're supposed to lead them and influence them through the way you move through the world. Is anybody coming to Christ because of the operations of this government? I'm going to go with a no on that.
Yes, Denise.
I'm
Before
with
we go to John.
you, Denise. I'm absolutely with Denise. I think you have to lead. I think you have to lead through example. I also think we have the Catholic Church tried this during the Dark and Middle Ages.
Picking out shit in my teeth going on.
Post Martin Luther in the UK, and it didn't work. Intertwining God and government only cheapens both. It doesn't actually bring people to God. It just cheapens the religion and cheapens the government.
Yeah, but Trump can call himself a Christian all he wants, but if you look at his behavior and if you look at what he says, he does not act like Christian. That's my humble opinion. John Malincrot, good morning. It's a pleasure to see you back on the show once again. Not to belabor the point, but I'm looking forward to my steak and lobster dinner in about a year and a half. What's going on, sir?
Yeah, I fear, and I have to say I am getting nervous about that. Looks to me, I mean, my only hope now, I shouldn't say my only hope, but my biggest hope now is that he drops dead, because that may be the only thing that saves me.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah. Well, so I'm in fact my PTR. Can anybody guess what that is in my PTR? Because I'm looking at it right now.
That's hate
I'll leave
speech.
it to those with good
I
eyes.
want YouTube to know that I am a journalist, a politician, a musician, and a magician. And what people say on this show is not the opinion expressed of the host. So I want the people at YouTube to know.
And so that's what and you see, also it's so weird being over here because, you know, everything is like, it's night now, right? I just had dinner. I can't quite, I know there are people on Clubhouse who deal with, you know, Uncle Steve that way, but I don't feel like I should have to do that.
This is John Kitover, Chicago mayoral candidate, listening to elite, liberal, intellectual Democrats. Go to ChicagoMayorVote.com. Like, share, subscribe now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
Oh, I was just Brenner. You could have bacon and eggs and hash browns and more natural.
So what? I didn't catch that, Violet. What did I miss?
No, just my husband and I. If you eat breakfast food for a dinner meal for some reason, we call it Brenner.
Brenner.
Yeah, so you should have had Brenner.
Well, I love breakfast at dinner time. That's a good thing.
Hey, John, what's your favorite part of your trip so far?
Well, that's right. Well, thank you for asking, Marshall, because I was going to mention that last night we went to a service at Canterbury Cathedral. And I think I might have caught
the socialist communists are on the march. He saw God.
The best part of the trip.
Was he orange, 6'3", with a waft blonde comb over of a hair transplant?
Well, I couldn't quite make him out, but he seemed, as far as I
Seemed
could
a little
tell,
orange to me.
And he said, "I'm gonna get that motherfucker Trump. I'm gonna get him."
Incredible. Yeah, I thought God loved everybody. What do I know? See? Yeah. Let's thank you, John. Let's say hello again to Shape. Hey, Shape. Hi again.
Buongiorno. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
John, I heard in the other
Buongiorno. We are elite, liberal, European, intellectual Democrats. Hello.
John, are you going to Glasgow?
No, I'm not going to Glasgow. I'm going to be live on YouTube, roasting you all summer long for the Chicago mayoral candidacy. Go to ChicagoMayorVote.com right now.
My wife just
hello
with some question that I didn't understand. So sorry, I missed whatever you asked me.
Oh, I heard it.
Hello?
That you were potentially going to Glasgow.
In a restaurant, and he said he said he's from Glasgow, and he said that they say it Glasgow.
Maybe your ears heard it differently.
I don't know.
I've been there many a time.
Abu Doran.
No.
Okay. So when you get there, you find
I'll find out.
a gentleman.
A gentleman.
A man that looks like they're approachable, and you say, and you ask them if it's top solf or top son.
Don't you think the person had better have big handlebar mustache though, or something? If I'm gonna really get this.
You know what the top solf and top
Like
son
this guy.
is?
I don't know that.
So top solf is when it's like above 15 degrees Celsius. Top solf.
Oh my God.
Top solf. It's top solf lots. So you got that.
Top solf.
Top
It is.
solf. Yeah.
It's been, what is it, 36, 37?
Whoa.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Second thing is, if you like a little piano and a little Victorian decor and a little scotch, I highly recommend a place called the Corinthian. The Corinthian.
Okay.
Nice little spot. And if you like Indian food, the absolute best Indian food I've ever had in my life is at a place called Mother India. You call a day in advance for the lamb, say you want the lamb. And anyway, those are my glasses.
We're only eating on the bus.
John, if you have a chance, I don't know if I imagine your trip is probably pretty full, but if you have an option, Gloucester or a town called Kenworth, they have statues of Alfred the Great's eldest daughter, a woman named Ethelflaed, who was known as the Lady of Mercia. And in Gloucester, it's Ethelflaed walking with a goose. The goose represents Saint Winifred, her patron saint. And then at Tamworth, it's her and her daughter, Elfrith. And without Ethelflaed, Alfred the Great's eldest daughter, and his son, Edward I, his dream of a Angleland, because the Anglo-Saxon Jutes who came over in the 400s and 500s, there wouldn't have been an Angleland to speak of without her. You probably don't have time, but I always wanted to see the statue.
Yeah.
Whatever,
We're
Marshall.
definitely not going to Gloucester. Where are we going? Edinburgh, Belfast, Glasgow, Douglas, the Isle of Man, Cork, Londonderry.
You can take the Trump derangement syndrome out of America,
Correct you, John. That's not.
but you can't take the Trump derangement syndrome out of the American.
It's Derry,
So
that's
that's
right. And we're not even going to Derry because the boat stops about 20 miles short.
Well, John, this is full of unsolicited advice for you. So just let us know if you'd like more unsolicited advice on your tour.
Thank you very much for that. Let's say hello to DC. DC, good morning. You have a fresh five starting now. Welcome. DC.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I saw a movie last night. Wanted to give a really strong recommendation for it. It's called Leviticus. And it's actually an Australian movie. It's more like a psychological horror movie. But it's basically about gay conversion therapy. And it was just on its face as a psychological horror. It was gripping. Only 90 minutes long, start to finish, absolutely gripping. But what it says about how religious or certain religious traditions, how they treat gay teenagers, especially young people, when they discover that they're gay, they treat them demonic. And of course, that's what the whole movie is about. It's about that they try to perform this conversion therapy, and what it does is it creates a curse on these young people that they then have to live with. But an amazing movie. I give it 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5. Highly, highly recommend it.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that, y'all. Leviticus, if you're looking for a movie, Leviticus. Thank you, DC. If you're in the audience and you want to come up, do it within the next couple of minutes because it's going to be impossible. Let's say hello to Alvin. Alvin, good morning. Welcome back to the show. What would you like to talk about, Alvin?
What was the movie he was just talking about?
Leviticus.
Oh, okay. And it was just basically how...
90 nights of gay conversion therapy.
Oh, yeah. The gay conversion therapy, it just, I don't understand why they thought that would work, right?
You mean in the movie or the actual therapy?
The actual therapy.
Go ahead.
I don't understand why they think it will work. I
I think what happens with some Christians, I think you're always gay. They just find ways to cope and suppress it, because there are there are some Christians that will say that they're still attracted to like the same sex, but they get married and have children.
I'm not familiar with the movie, but I wasn't aware that it involved only Christians.
Well, I mean,
what about non-Christians that are gay?
Well, there's no struggle with that because they're not, they're not adhering to anything saying you can't do it.
You don't think it's as difficult? You don't think it's as difficult to come out of the closet and say you're Muslim than you're?
Well, any religion, if you're an atheist, gay, I don't to come out to your parents, right? I don't. There's no pressure there, right? Because you're not
right. But the atheist population is only about 8 to 10%.
Yeah, I was more so talking about what happens if you're gay and you're raised in a Christian household.
I know that. That's why I said, well, did it only involve Christians? What about Muslims?
Or even Muslims. Any religion that prohibits the practice, right?
Yeah, you're talking about if you were raised in a deeply theological, God-believing religious home, it's very difficult to come out as gay. Now I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I was more so saying there's people that are Muslim or even Christian that admit they're attracted to others. But it's against my religion, so I married a woman and had children. So they really find ways to suppress it. I don't really become straight per se. Maybe they become bisexual. I don't know, but
I don't think there are any religions that openly support homosexuality or being gay.
I mean, there's religions that just don't mention it, like Hinduism.
And that's actually, Steve. There are lots of Christian denominations.
Yeah, there are lots.
That come out. Hold on. That come out and support it or don't talk against it or don't mention it.
The Presbyterian Church USA, the Episcopal Church USA, the United Methodist Church, the Evangelical Lutheran Church of America, United Church of Christ. These are all mainline denominations that do gay marriages.
I knew I did this show for a reason. I learned something that I didn't know. Alvin, you're in the Matrix, Alvin.
You're breaking up, Alvin.
You're breaking up, Alvin. Well, we can come back to Alvin. No, I'm learned something because I really didn't know.
Steve learned something. Steve, it was like Steve read a book and learned something he didn't know. Now he knows something new. It was all worth it.
Even the Catholic religion.
Hello?
It's okay to bless unions of the same sex, although they have to come out in favor of marriage, but it's okay.
Same-sex marriages by the Catholic Church? Oh my God! LGBTQ! 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 We let trans party
I have never seen anything wrong with people being gay or same-sex marriage. I think if you love another person,
love is love. Love is love.
The right to spend the rest of your life with them in a committed relationship. I've never seen anything wrong with that at all.
Steve, when it comes to homosexuality being prohibited, this seems to be a North African / Middle